This is an absolutely confirmed fact that cannot possibly be denied unless you're in a complete trance and you just programmed to believing absurd propaganda that is fed to your brain day and night, night and day. The minute you put on the news, this is what's poured into your brain, and you have completely capitulated into a trance. Because otherwise, this is so absurd behavior, psychotic behavior, to want to look the other way about whatever it could be. It could be Sandusky raping the kid in the shower. Paterno looks the other way, but not alone. I mean, doesn't he think, well, wow, my career would depend if this news came out about Sandusky and that I know about it and I'm looking the other way, that's going to destroy my reputation. Don't you think that would be a logical consideration before you look the other way? Mr. Joe Paterno, the coach McQueary, the athletic director, whatever the hell his name is, and the president, and all the other people, including the cops, that were told about Sandusky actually raping these kids in the shower. Look the other way. Look the other way when all the priests get caught, okay, with molesting boys. They're all homosexuals. Oh, they hate homosexuality, isn't that it? They can't marry homosexuals, but they can be homosexuals. Of course, they don't get married. I mean, these people could make up one crazy theory after the next, and you would buy it lock, stock, and barrel, because you're programmed into, oh, the court said, yeah, we believe, we're absolutely down with the Constitution. That's an absurd lie that's proven all the time. Let's go with the Patriot Act. That's to set up a dictatorship. That's to completely wipe out the Constitution. So how could it possibly be constitutional? That's ridiculous. See, nobody understands. Think about the actual rape, looking at it right then and there yourself, in the shower room. Okay? How would that look to you? Do you think if you actually saw the rape, you might say, well, I don't think I should look the other way here? Or what? Or would it make no difference? Because you just don't jive with what's happening. You're completely out of it. And the biggest example is the mass murder of 2,700 people at the World Trade Center, and then the mass murder of 125 people that were blown up with a missile that fired into the Pentagon, okay, by our government. You understand? In other words, if you're going to pull shit like that, and you people don't want to know about it, you want to look the other way, you want to be in your fantasy delusion. What are you? I mean, there's no reality here. There is reality. The reality is that this whole American culture is so conditioned. Politically correct. Oh yeah, you can't call anybody a liar, no matter the flagrant lies that any idiot would know are complete lies, right? Oh, when Casey Anthony said she had the nanny, like for a couple of years to the parents, and that she's going off to her job that she didn't have, and that she's not pregnant at the wedding when she's going to have this kid in 2 more months. You know, it's like, oh wow, what a liar! No different at all than every one of you in America that don't want to know what happened on 9/11, that refused to look at the evidence that it was all photographed, for God's sakes. How could you have a crime that's completely photographed and then say we're not going to look at it? Okay? You have to be whacked out of your mind to do that. That's the point. This culture is so screwed up. It's nuttier than any place on earth, actually. Okay? I thought, for instance, in Sudan, when this young girl, 13-year-old girl, was raped, they stoned her to death. I said, wow, that's I don't think you can actually get crazier than that, can you? Yeah, America's way crazier than stoning this kid to death. Not that that's not really nuts. That's nuts. But 2,700 times that. Oh yeah, and 342 firefighters. And if you tell them, oh, they get pissed off that George Bush murdered them. You understand? That's psychotic, because that's exactly what happened. And they refuse. Oh, they get angry if you should actually say that to them, to the firefighters. And believe me, I have, including Brian Rooney, the fire chief in Bridgeport, and Lieutenant Buck, Jim Buck, in Bridgeport, and a whole bunch of them down there at O'Hara's Pub. They hang out, the firefighters hang out. And when I go there and try to talk to them, they get pissed off. They want to attack. They don't attack, but they, ooh, like, you're not supposed to say that because we don't want to believe it, and we're on our own stupid ass fantasy. So shut up. We'd like to pound your brain right into that wall over there for even suggesting such a thing that we don't want to know. No matter the facts are plain as day that that's what happened. 342 firefighters were murdered by George Bush and Ashcroft and Silverstein and the people who rigged up all of those explosives and hooked up the detonation to go off when they hit the button after the planes hit in there, okay? Now, the facts are so clear because you see all of the beams that were cut and blasted in all directions. You could see the actual picture of the explosion. And I want you to see this book, okay? Because this book you can buy for $6 on Amazon, and go to page 247 and read about the time that Picard, the FBI director, Tom Picard, jumped right into the face of Ashcroft because he said he didn't want to hear about Al-Qaeda and the attacks. He doesn't want to hear it because they're rigging the goddamn building up ready to explode on top of everybody, because they don't want, like, the call, you know, they can't start a war if 12 people get killed or 6 people at the World Trade Center in 93. They can't start a war with that, okay? And Bush wants to start a war, and we know that for an absolute fact because that's what he was telling the NSC, and Paul O'Neill put it in his book, okay? You don't want to believe Paul O'Neill? The Treasury Secretary of the United States? Why would he lie? Why would he subject himself to making up a crazy ass lie like George Bush wants to attack Iraq? That's like number one on, and no matter what, how we get it done, it doesn't matter. Okay? Now, that's in the guy's book. It's published. It was on 60 Minutes. And boom, let's just turn the lights off on that. Okay? I mean, that's how nutso the entire American society is. Because 60 Minutes hits 20 million people. Okay? So, you know, I mean, to ignore, for 20 million people to ignore what came out at 60 Minutes with Paul O'Neill. Ooh, he cowered down, boy. Okay? And I'm like, oh, you better rethink that, buddy. Okay? We don't want to hear that. 60 Minutes and CBS and the whole media. And this book that I just showed you, right? With this story about Picard jumping into Ashcroft's face is never printed in a newspaper. It's only in this book. But that's how he convicted himself with his conspiracy. Because to not print that story, that's a massive conspiracy, okay, with the top people at the New York Times. That's where he got it all. He got tons of it. It's not just that. That's a beauty, though, okay? 41 presidential daily briefings. It's not just this August 6th one, okay? I mean, there's no question about it. No question, because the pictures show it. I'm going to send everybody on this email the link so that they can see the pictures of the beams all cut and blasted all over the place. Okay? That is it. Okay? You don't have to know about thermate. You don't have to know about this CIA lady that may be legit, maybe she's not. She's smiling and laughing. She thinks it's funny. I don't think it's really too funny. In fact, that pisses me off, okay? I like to smash her head right up against the wall. You think that's funny? I don't think it's funny, honey, okay? So don't keep smiling with this political correctness shit. You understand? That's what got all of you people all fucked up. This book, you better start reading this book to find out what's really happened here, okay? And I have 2 more court cases in court right now. And I want you people to know about it. See, like they dismissed April Gallup's case. They had the Second Circuit hearing. I was there in New Haven. And who's on the panel but Bush's cousin, John M. Walker Jr.? Come on, give me a break, okay? I mean, right then and there. And then Winter, okay? Winter and I mean, this is a complete fraud. The whole government now, okay? It's screw the Constitution, screw the checks and balances, screw everything. We're down with the dictator. We're not going to mess with the dictator just like they do in North Korea. Or you wind up in prison, and they are some nasty places in North Korea, okay? This is like a country club prison. But, like, they kept this woman in jail for a year with the Patriot Act. And she's over there with her stupid smile. And that's where the problem lies, that you're all in a trance, totally manipulated. You don't want to admit it. You'd rather have the whole country collapse and be in a complete dictatorship than just say, you know, these people say all the time that they're the nicest people on earth. They would never do stuff like that, you know, Hitler did or anybody like that. You understand? Well, when they pull a 9/11, what do you call that? What do you call that? That's a complete mass murder, for Christ's sakes. To have their 2 fucking wars, and you just sit there like assholes and you say, I don't want to know. Okay? Because you're in a fucking trance. You're psychos. Just like poor Casey Anthony. She's still buttoned up with her father, molesting this kid and murdering the kid. Why else would he murder the kid? He doesn't hate the kid. The kid's a darling kid. Nobody hates the kid. They love the kid. Okay? So they're not going to murder this kid because Casey wants to go to a bar. That is so ridiculous, stupid. Only Americans could actually believe such nonsense. Okay? That the prosecutor would just make up this idiotic idea. It's his idea. It's not hers. Okay? She didn't go to the bar. Oh, good, I killed a kid. I'll go to the bar now. You know? That's so ridiculous, for God's sakes. But Americans believe anything. They're off. They're in a total dead trance. That nothing matters if it comes through the TV, HLN News, the media, and they all sit on it because they're watching exactly what I'm watching. One lie after the next. Okay? So this is where we're at in America. So if you read this book, you'll know where I came from. I was in prison for 9 years. I want you to know that because the case isn't worth 10 cents. Okay? I didn't get an appeal. I had no constitutional rights. They didn't even want to put me on trial. And by a miracle, I got this phony trial where they actually rigged the juror. Here in Bridgeport, federal case. Okay? I want you to know about this. I want you to know about these other 2 cases. One is in the Bridgeport court. I got arrested because I was talking about 9/11 with the captain in Bridgeport, James Videro, captain. Okay? Let me tell you something. These people are all stooges. They're assholes, nitwits in a total trance, just like every one of you. Every freaking one of you. Okay? That's where we're at, Hunter. Okay? This